All right, well, hello. Welcome to Dan and Bryn Start a Gym. Thank you very much for showing up. Last time, our last video, which was like a week ago, we talked about the 3 keys to success when it comes to body composition changes and when it comes to better health. Those 3 keys are exercise, nutrition, and recovery. Those are pretty much it. There's a lot of other subcategories in each one of those categories specifically, but that's it. Exercise, nutrition, and recovery. Today we're going to talk about mostly exercise and what that means. We're going to go into sort of how to figure out whether you're working out hard enough, whether you're not working out hard enough, so on and so forth. We're going to kind of ignore these 2 for right now. We'll deal with nutrition tomorrow, and then recovery will be on Saturday. But for today we're going to deal with exercise. When it comes to exercise, you need to make sure that you're exercising well enough to get results, to get progress. And that's really how you can tell whether or not something's working or not working. If you're not getting results, then something in one of these 3 or more than one of these 3 is definitely needing to be changed or be addressed for the most part. So when it comes to exercise, I drew this little intensity meter here, and this is sort of to depict how hard you're working. Now, the thing about intensity when it comes to exercise is intensity is sort of a vague tool that we can use. You can do intensity as far as a 1 rep max, which would be very intense for 1 rep, or you could use intensity to say do lots of reps, anywhere between 12, 16. There's lots of various ranges of reps. There's also time under tension and different things of that nature, but we'll talk about all that sort of stuff on a later date. Today we're trying to figure out how hard should somebody exercise when they're in the gym to hopefully start seeing some muscle builds, to start seeing some progress. Most people tend to focus on how many reps they're doing, how many sets they're doing of those reps. We try to break it down a little more simply than that, and I like to think of exercise as being more of something that you learn more slowly, somewhat like mathematics, right? I'm not going to throw somebody into a trigonometry class, so if they're doing the same thing as a bodybuilder, they're probably going to burn out and be working too intensely. For the most part, to see progress in the gym, you want to operate somewhere between 70 and about 90% in this range most of the time. Now, you can't operate all the way at 100% all the time. You can operate at 100% intensity in short bursts, usually a little bit during any particular day, but never day in and day out. Anybody who can operate at 100% day in and day out will at some point become injured. That's always the case. That's never not the case. If somebody says that they are exercising at 100% intensity every time they step into the gym, it's a lot of bro talk where they're like, I don't ever, I work 100% all the time. You're never gonna see me not working as hard as I possibly can. Well, that's just not possible, because if they were working out as hard as they possibly could every single time they step into the gym, then the odds that they worked out as hard as they possibly could the last time they were in the gym were really, really low. And so that would not be the case. Now, you can operate at 90% or say somewhere between there, but you'd want to operate somewhere between 70 and 90% of your intensity. Now, that we haven't discussed or gone into what that means as far as sets and reps, but that definitely means that you should not be comfortable while you're exercising. If you're comfortable while you're exercising, if you're having a good conversation with a close dear friend or somebody you just met, the odds of you working out hard enough are really, really small. If you have your makeup on and your hair done and you leave looking almost the exact same as when you came in, the odds that you were working out hard enough are still very small. Now, one of the biggest problems with this sort of meter is it's sort of a rate of perceived exertion, RPE. That does make it a little tough because it's up to the person's own discretion to determine how hard they're working. Oftentimes we find in our gym that people think they're working out as hard as they possibly can, but the fact of the matter remains that they really don't work out even close to hard enough to get the results and the expectations and timeline that they're after. Now, they are getting healthier by being in the gym, they are working out, they're learning new movements, they are developing range of motion, they are building mechanical skills, but as far as their timeline for how fast they think results will happen at that slower speed decreases greatly. So somebody who's going to go, well, I'm working out as hard as I can, but I can't work out that hard because I have exercise-induced migraines and exercise-induced asthma, and they got all these other limitations. That's really unfortunate, sucks to be you, but the fact of the matter remains you're not able to work out intensely enough to start seeing progress the way you want in the shortest amount of time. So that's some of our biggest problems is people come in and they go, I want to lose body fat as fast as possible. Well, fast as possible means you need to operate at that, actually it would be more like 80 to 90% all the time. You need to come in all the time. A lot of people do ask us how often they should work out, and there's a lot of information out there. Some say 3 days a week, some say 4 days a week. Typically, we encourage everybody to work out every single day. It has less to do with doing the work, and it has more to do with developing the habit. If you don't come every single day, then you're less likely to develop the habit of what you should do for exercise. And so if you do come every single day, all of a sudden this intensity level can start to drop. You can do 60 to 70%, even 50 to 70% on certain times. You definitely want to peak and valley throughout the week. So if I exercised, let's say 6 days a week, I'd want to have one day that I would think was awesome. 90% effort, man, I killed it in the gym. You know, people thought I was crazy. I would have probably 3 or 4 days where I just average day, you know, nothing great about it, but it definitely wasn't my worst day. And usually if I did 90% one day, then the next day I'm usually pretty dragging ass, and I'm just coming in doing some stretching, some foam rolling. I might even get a little bit of work in, but it's going to be a little compartmentalized. I like to think about my work effort more as the RPMs on my car. If I drive my car in the red line all the time, the car is going to break down at some point. But I can drive it up towards the red line pretty hard and aggressively, but I do have to let it come down a little bit in order to let the engine recover. If I drive it all the way close to that red line for too long, it does break down, it will break, and that's no different than your body specifically. And so I believe we're right around the 6-minute mark, and so that'll be it for today, and we'll go over it tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and don't be afraid. And what's that? Brent's chasing me with the camera now. All right, so please subscribe, like us on Instagram, Facebook, all that other good stuff. Adios, muchachos.